Sorry, disclaimer, even before we get started, I it's something in the air. I don't know if it's because of the weather change or what, but my throat is a little scratchy, so you'll probably hear me from time to time. I'll try not to do it as much. So, welcome to my YouTube channel and this live stream. My name is Michelle. For those of you all who do not know me, who are new to this channel, I am a teacher currently. And what I do on this channel is I help math teachers like yourself to close gaps and move the needle to where your students show at least 1 year's growth. And I do that by providing you with tips, just like I'm going to do tonight. And I offer free workshops. Also, I have two memberships that support teachers in the day and age of declining support and shrinking budgets that are affordable for teachers because everything's going up and I can't run a business for free, unfortunately, or I would. So, for those that cannot afford at this moment to join my membership, I offer free advice and my free monthly workshops, which, let me move this over, brings me to my next point. I am hosting a free workshop. Let me put that in the chat. Where- Need to find my cursor. So, I host free monthly workshops that coincide with what's taking place in your classroom at the moment mathematically. I focus on closing learning gaps. That's what I do here on this channel. But we do talk about math strategies and tier one instruction. That is your core instruction that you deliver to all of your students. So let me grab this and put it in the chat. So if you're interested in um, joining me, there's that free workshop. I'll be promoting this workshop. We'll be talking about adjusting instruction. If you don't know what that is, then you definitely need to sign up for this workshop. So it's really just adapting math lessons while you're teaching and adjusting your instruction to meet the needs of the students as misconceptions arise. And I'll be talking about all of those things during that um, workshop. I lost my train of thought right then. During that workshop. So you can sign up there. The link is in the chat. So I'm so glad you're here. So even if you're tuning in on the replay, you're showing up live, does not matter. Thank you for being a part of my community with the attacks on public education. Community is very important, especially for excuse me, new teachers that are coming to into our profession. The experienced teachers, as an experienced teacher, veteran teacher of 26 years, I try to make sure that our younger teachers or teachers that are new to the profession get some type of support that they need. And this is just one of the ways that I give back to a profession that has given me so much. So, without further ado, let's get into tonight's topic. And you're probably like, what is this math gap mapper? That is a mouthful. Well, this math gap mapper is a custom chat GPT that I built based on the topics that I cover, based on my thinking, it's actually a way to get answers when you don't have someone in front of you. And with teachers leaving the education profession, this is the one way that AI is actually useful. It is no way in any way, shape, or form a replacement for an actual person because you can pull up, as I'll show you tonight, things about, if a child is exhibiting, doesn't understand that a denominator means how many pieces you have in all, or part to whole, or part of a set, what do you do then? But you still need a person, such as myself, to interpret those if you don't have the content knowledge. So here's the thing. Content knowledge is the mathematical understanding that a teacher has. So some teachers come with a lot of content knowledge, and some teachers not so much. And content knowledge is built over time. It is not something that you learn first year. That's why when you're dealing with first year teachers, so it's really difficult to get the gains that you would normally get with an experienced teacher who has dealt with a lot of different issues. Say, for example, myself, I have taught elementary, middle, and high school. I've been a math interventionist, I've been a math coach. So I've seen different problems that children come with, the gaps, the different gaps, your higher level. So I've seen a lot, English language learners. So you can't replicate that. And how we address those issues are different depending on the child and what you see in front of you. So this math gap mapper is a way for teachers to get support when someone like myself is not available. The people in my Math Intervention Academy and Gap Closers work membership, they have access to me, and that's why they pay to be a part of my membership, because I do give them the strategies that are going to close specific gaps. But not everybody has that on their campus when you're at work and you can't access me. So that's why this is truly important, because it helps you to pinpoint where students are having issues. So let me go ahead and pull it up. Here we are. So let me, I don't know why it's saying sign in. Because I'm already signed in. Let me see. Try it again. See, let me pull this. And then hold on 1 second. Let me pull this off of here. It was just up. Let me pull it off and put the right one in. Y'all get to see me deal with technology. Okay, so let me change out the link. Okay, there we go. And put the right one in. And I don't know why it's telling me to log in, because I'm already logged in. Do, 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 do. Okay. Guess I'm going to have to share my screen on this one. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let me go ahead and put another overlay. Screen share. There we are. Edit shape. Custom. I have to share my screen. For some reason, that's not working. Don't understand why. I'm gonna move me out of the way right here. Bring that to the front. Okay, there we are. We're good to go. That's technology for you. I don't know if it was, I don't know what that was about. So here we go. There we are. All right, so we have the Math Gap Mapper up. So, say for instance, you are in a classroom and your student is struggling with the most common things are place value, fractions, decimals, um, and what was I going to say? In secondary is really slope intercept form and let me make this bigger. Slope intercept form, equations, all of those things. So that's what I'm going to focus on tonight to show you how this can help you pinpoint what to teach to close those gaps. Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to pull this over. There we are. So it says analyze students' work and map the gaps. So on here, I put in here probes and I just clicked on it and it says nothing. So I'm going to get out of there. Let me do a new chat. And let me go to all right. All right, so here we go. If my student, all you do is talk to it the same way. If my students do not understand how to read 6-digit numbers, what should I focus on to close this gap? I'm gonna move me over here. So look, I typed in if my students do not understand how to read a 6-digit number, 6-digit numbers, what should I focus on to close this gap? It says below here is a coherence map teacher facing analysis focused on closing the gap in reading 6-digit numbers. So they give you a summary. And it tells you the likely missing skills. This is the issue that many teachers have. right here in the likely missing skills. Because remember, I said it's the content knowledge. Like, if you've never taught fourth grade, you really are not going to know what that looks like in fourth grade or what is missing from fourth grade because you never taught it. So, what this does, it gives you place value structure to the millions, treats digits as independent rather than units of a thousand, hundred, and it tells you that these are highly unlikely missing skills. Amidst them, utilizing decomposing numbers, medium. And here's the coherence map links. So if you don't know where to begin, it tells you second grade, place value within 1,000. Third grade, rounding base 10 structure, which place value is but it would not be connected to this. That's why I said ChatGTP is not a replacement for the teacher. It just helps you to figure out where to close those gaps at. And then they have fourth grade, 10 times relations. Same grade, fifth grade place value to a million, reading, writing. And they also give you what is coming up in sixth grade. So after they give you the coherence, this is the vertical alignment link. This right here, all of this is vertical alignment. It goes from before, on grade level, above grade level. So checks for understandings. This gives you a plan. It says build a 6-digit number with place value tiles or digit cards. Physically group hundred tens that make a periods chart. Say, what does the 6 represent in 624,508? How many tens is that? And then you have the kids reteach concrete, representational, and abstract forms. And then they even give you many tasks. Match to the word form. Place the numbers, 6-digit numbers in the period chart or place value chart. So you can also drop the students' work into here and have them, let me see, I think I have one in here. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So this is a student I had a long time ago. So I'm going to drop it in here. It's on fractions. So it will analyze, if you take a picture of the student's work, it will analyze it. So it says the student is renaming 7 halves as a mixed number, but shows uncertain unitizing of halves into wholes and writes an incorrect decomposition of 1 plus 1/2. Visual models appear, but they are not accurately connected to the numerical decomposition. So it will analyze the student's work for you and tell you what the problem is. And then they give you likely missing skills and standards. Now, this is based on Common Core. One thing I teach teachers is that we're all teaching math. I don't care what state it comes from. The only difference is at what grade level the math is being taught, but the skills, I promise you, are the same. Um, so I just mapped it to Common Core because it's internet based, and it has a tight knit vertical alignment and horizontal alignment for math. Now reading is another different story. So here's the vertical alignment link again. And then they give you a check for understanding. And it also gives you a reteach plan. They give you many tasks that you can do in small group with the students and progress monitoring. One thing about progress monitoring, it is not something that's labor intensive. If you're teaching the student to convert fractions greater than one whole, then that's what the progress monitoring should be. Convert 7/2 to a mixed number using any method justified, because that was in your reteach plan. And decompose 6/2 and explain why. That's the kids explaining their thinking. And then convert 11/2 to a mixed number and write the decomposition. So let's take it to secondary, because I know some people are, well, that's elementary. Okay. I'm going to say, because I taught Algebra 1. My students are struggling with slope intercept form. So the summary is students who struggle with slope-intercept form typically lack fluency with the underlying linear structure, rate of change per one, the meaning of B as an initial value, and the connection between a graph, table, and equation. Strengthening these prerequisites restore access to grade level linear work. So here are some likely skills that are missing. Rate of change, interpreting y as the initial value. This is 8th grade. As you can see, it has 7th grade. Slope, direction, sign, structure of linear expressions. Here's the coherence map, that vertical alignment piece. 6th grade, 7th, 8th. And then afterwards, it talks about algebra 1, y equals mx plus b as a foundation of transformation of functions, if you're not familiar with that. So it gives you the same thing. Gives you check for understanding, a reteach plan, many tasks to do, and how to progress monitor the kids. And I'm going to take this one step further. Can you provide me with a picture of the progress monitoring probe? Now, this may take some time. So it'll start, and you'll see it start populating. There it is. And it takes some time. So, like, if you're going to use this for your task, to create tasks for your students, it's a great way to do that. Just make sure that the answers are correct. You still have to check it. So as you can see, it's starting to create. So if you're a new teacher and you don't know what this looks like, you can ask it to create a picture of the probe. And there you go. See? And that could be your progress monitoring tool. So simple. Very, very simple. And this can be done for your younger kids, any grade level. So I actually provide this for teachers in my math gap closers membership. That membership is $7. So let me pop that in the chat just in case I have some people that are interested in it that want to be a part of it and want access to it. It's $7 a month. I also provide um, a library of strategies and show you how to teach those strategies for different misconceptions. So let me put that in the chat. So, like I said, this is an excellent tool. And, I know some people are against AI, but AI is not meant to take away the teacher. And I know people are saying, well, they're going to take jobs and this, that, and the third. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't you can't replace a teacher. I mean, you can replace certain aspects of a teacher, but the physical teacher, she or he will never be replaced. Human beings are not set up that way, and children need supervision. And I don't foresee a robot or AI actually corralling the children that we currently serve in our classrooms. So, but this is definitely a tool. I'm gonna be honest with you. As you use it over time, it should increase your content knowledge because you actually are starting to understand, okay, this is what it looks like. This is the vertical alignment without always depending on someone to be there to help you because when you're planning, you don't, I mean, nobody's always there. When you're putting your lesson together, when you need an anchor chart, you can get an anchor chart from this math gap closer, math gap mapper. Let me go back to that area. So after you have that, you can create an anchor chart for small group instruction. So it's going to come up. And you can also have the kids create their own anchor charts. I honestly, if you're doing small group, you really should have composition notebooks for those students that are in small group. It helps them to cement their what's going on. And I use dry erase boards in small group, but they definitely need their own intervention notebooks or binders, whatever you're going to use for your small group intervention. But anchor charts are needed. I don't generally print my anchor charts. I write mine out. I prefer more authentic approach, but I get it. If you don't have time to write it out, I get it. And if you have a poster maker, printing it out is something that you could do as well. But if you have this math gap mapper and you know, you could easily put this on a anchor chart for your students, and it gives you a starting point. So now you don't have to start from scratch. So there's the anchor chart for that misconception. I think it's great. I do. I think it's a wonderful tool. And I've had some teachers check it out and they love it. They love it, love it. So, if you want to learn more about math intervention, you can check out my playlist. If your students are still falling behind, even after all of the extra practice, that's my playlist. I have about four um shoot, I lost my train of thought. I have four videos in my playlist. If you are interested, you can jump off this live stream, click on the playlist. I only have one in there, and you can watch my videos on math intervention. So I hope this wasn't too much where it just blew your little mind. Um, and I hope that it was something that you found helpful. If you're interested in joining my gap closers, it's $7 a month. And if you're not able, then I have plenty of videos. You can check out my blog, and you can also join me next month for my free workshop, Adapting Math Lessons While You're Teaching. And I can teach you some new skills for free. And you can be ready to rock and roll because actually, November and December, they're going to do a lot of testing. December, the last week before school is out, is a waste. The kids are antsy. A lot of the kids are absent. So, gearing up for January so you can be ready to close those gaps, read your data, adjust your instruction, make the necessary changes that you need for your classroom. And I hope that I can be a part of that. And if not, just keep showing up on my live stream. I take that too. So thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. And I'll see you all in my next video or in my next workshop. Bye bye.